Hi, we're PIMA.
Paranormal Investigators of the Mid-Atlantic. My name is Lori Grace and I am co-founder and lead investigator for the team. During the day, I am an office manager for a remodeling company. I do believe that there is something beyond normal existence, something that we cannot explain. If you think about it, why do so many people see and hear the same things out of the ordinary? I want to know what that is. Wouldn't it be nice to know that there is something beyond this life? I refuse to believe that there isn't. I am just searching for answers. No one knows for sure, but everyone has an opinion. Let me introduce you to our newest member.
Hi, my name is Richard Maitre. I am the case manager for PIMA. My wife Tina and I are the newest members. I'm self-employed. I have an automotive machine shop. Because of my employment, I have a little bit of free time that I can make and take phone calls, do a little bit of scheduling, and organize some of the investigations that we attend. Because of my background of being precision in my measurements and the machining, and I'm a giant skeptic, I find myself really paying attention to our investigations, and especially with the evidence review. We try to debunk things along the way as logically as we can. But if we still have stuff laying on the table with no answers, now we have factual evidence.
And next, but never last, we have Randy Grace.
Hi, my name is Randy Grace. You met my beautiful wife Lori. In my personal life, I have two wonderful children. I'm a senior project manager with a commercial lending software company. I'm the technical manager within PIMA and a huge history buff. Being part of PIMA has allowed me to explore history from a different perspective, one that I never thought I'd be able to. Rather than just read about history, I'm out there exploring the history and actually becoming part of it. I look at today's paranormal teams as modern-day explorers, similar to Christopher Columbus. We are out there exploring the unknown with only our faith and knowledge to guide us.
The idea of paranormal investigating began at a family gathering when many of us had discovered that we have an interest in the paranormal due to many personal experiences throughout our lives. My sister Lynn and I and two of my nieces decided to take a road trip to Rhode Island, and we participated in a class given by the Atlantic Paranormal Society, aka TAPS. On our drive home, that's when PIMA was born. Since then, we have investigated private residences, historical buildings, and have joined other teams in investigations on famous buildings at locations as far south as Florida.
When participating in Ghost Quest, we bring a diverse team dynamic as well as a group that is eager to learn and explore the unknown for answers. We have skeptics and believers, and we feel that this helps maintain a healthy balance when reviewing and presenting our evidence. Our team has an open mind towards the paranormal, and we approach each investigation with an analytical point of view. We want to learn and understand the paranormal and all the things that surround it.
Now that introductions are over, let's go in here and see if we can't find some highlights of our investigations that we can share with the great people at Ghost Quest.
Sounds like a plan.
Well guys, now that we're situated here and trying to figure out what we need to send to them, we've got so much evidence. What do you think would be the highlights to send them? I mean, what really stands out in our mind?
Well, I can tell you the first one I remember with you is when we were investigating that old barn that contained the flea market.
Oh yeah.
And you had your very first personal experience with that cat.
That was my very first personal experience.
And I was in the next aisle when that took place. Why don't you tell them about that? Or
yeah, I did.
Go over that with us.
I really, that scared the daylights out of me. I mean, the whole night had been pretty quiet, and you know, it's closing up, about ready to quit that evening, and all of a sudden I felt what I thought was their cat. A cat that maybe stayed there in the barn, and I looked down and it's rubbing up against my feet and purring. And
didn't you say it was a white cat?
It was a white cat, and it had just black tips on the ears. It was a really pretty cat. It wasn't a kitten. It was a middle-aged cat, but it looked friendly enough, so I decided I reached down and pet the cat, but it kind of scurried underneath of the bottom shelf there before I could get to it. So when I reached down to, here, kitty, kitty, come out so I could pet it, I noticed that there's nothing underneath of that bottom shelf. It's blocked off.
And the cat disappeared.
There's no cat, and I swear to God, I saw that cat, I felt the cat, and I'm wondering why I wasn't in the emergency room with cardiac after that.
I remember your reaction because I came running
That
around
took
the
a
corner.
long time to get calmed down.
And then we were all down crawling around on the floor just to make sure that there wasn't any place for this cat to go, but we never saw a cat again that night.
Why don't you let the technical specialist roll the clip?
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Holy shit. I could have swore I just saw a freaking cat.
You're kidding me.
No, I shit you not.
My daughter said she saw a cat.
A white freaking cat.
Oh, a white one.
A white cat.
She said it
Right
was
here. It can't go under. I'm walking up through here with the egg roll in my hand, and I'm like this. And right across here, I saw a white cat. Real thin, small, not a kitten.
Caitlin said she saw the cat in.
There's a little...
I can't remember. I'll have to ask her again.
It came up around here, it rubbed up against here, and then it walked underneath here. It can't go underneath here. There's nothing. It's solid.
Yeah, that cat was pretty cool. But I recall the one that we had from the tavern. The one that you got, the EVP, that you got goosebumps on.
Oh yeah, we had a recorder sitting at the front of the tavern, and we were getting ready to leave and go into the bar area. So everyone had walked out of that section, and I was just leaning over to pick up the recorder at that time. So anyway, we were here at the house doing the analysis. I believe you were in another room doing the video.
Yep.
And I'm listening, and I was getting a little discouraged because we had caught nothing that night. I was not hearing a thing. Got to the last few seconds, and all of a sudden, with a male voice, I hear, "Get out."
Yeah.
I think I jumped off that couch. First, it startled me. Then I was excited because it was a male voice, and I know we've been trying to get one of the gentlemen because of the history with the building. That was definitely a good one.
That was the grand finale of that night. You finally got something there. A male voice telling you last call for alcohol.
Yeah, why don't we play that EVP? Yeah, that was the first male voice we got out of there. But remember when we got the female voice there? When we weren't expecting that?
Yeah, that was down in the basement. That was our first investigation there. We were down in the basement, and again, this has a history of having an underground railroad, slaves being through there and everything. But the history of it tells us that, again, that they've seen male shadows and that they were seeing a man with a top hat. So we had a couple investigators down there, and they were getting a hit on a K2, and they react to that. And what leads to this, and what makes it a neat response, is the owner of the tavern had always said, "I don't care that they're here, I just want to know that they're here.
Yeah.
They can stay as long as they
Right.
want, I just want to know that they're here." So when you listen to the clip, it's very interesting. You'll hear them say, "Oh look, there's K2, you know, the K2's going off, it's flashing," and then you'll hear a female voice, and it sounds like a young female, going, "Tell her we're here." And then there's a pause, and sounds like, we haven't still figured it out, but it sounds like "by the flame," and we're not really sure what that means. But the "tell her we're here" definitely gives us chills, and we just loved it. We played that for the owner. We're like, well, they're letting you know that they're definitely here. That was our favorite one.
Yeah, and then after we played that for her was when she told us about it being an old girls' seminary back in the Civil War time,
Yep, just
which
before.
really blew us all away because we weren't expecting that at all.
Yeah, just before the
When
Civil
you
War.
found that out afterwards, then it made sense.
Absolutely.
You know?
So let's take a gander at that and listen to it.
Okay.
Whoa. Spiders? No, this thing just got off. No, Mom, I was sitting here. See?
Dude, do you remember when we were the only ones able to get into that quarantine facility in Philadelphia? I mean, that took a lot of work. I mean, I worked that one to death.
Yeah, you did.
But I got us in there.
That was incredible.
That was a lot of activity that
Yay,
night.
Rich.
Yeah, that was one of those that hit me sort of the way Lori got with that one EVP. I'm watching the video evidence, and I remembered early in the evening when we had done the investigation that we had picked up a disembodied voice.
Yes.
A door opened on its own.
We couldn't. We didn't know what it said. I kept thinking it said Jeremy. Someone else said it sounded like "excuse me." And after we heard the disembodied voice on the video, you capture us walking around asking everyone, "Was that you? Did you do this?" Just trying to find out what it could have been.
Right.
And then when we come back, they're trying to play their audio recorders to see if they captured on the audio while we're there at the quarantine facility. And sure enough, you can hear it on their quarantine on the audio. And I keep playing the video, and we're still questioning what it said because it still wasn't very clear.
Right.
And then we capture an EVP that said a gentleman's name of Henry.
Yeah, and that was clearer than the
That
disembodied
was definitely,
voice.
I would consider a Class A.
That's a
was
Class A plus.
standing right next to you. And then we found out that Henry was one of the main doctors at that facility.
Absolutely, the physician. So why don't we play that for him as well?
Sure. A lot of this stuff has a lot of correlation, and it's kind of neat. Afterwards, we find out all this stuff.
Absolutely. So enjoy this clip. Somebody just whispered something?
Clear, excuse me.
I heard like Jeremy, but
you heard
excuse me.
disembodied voice just
Yeah.
out loud.
Yeah, just-
It was out loud. We all
Like-
heard it. I
So
said,
we all thought somebody said,
Voice we had caught. You remember the disembodied voice we caught at the private residence that time on one of our first investigations?
yes, we went to a private residence, and we kind of split the team up where the guys were downstairs and the girls were upstairs. We were rotating. We were up in the master bedroom, and the guys were downstairs, and they had told us that the door had shut. They didn't know, what was going on up there. So we were trying to debunk it to see, because you never know. Someone might have been able to hit it, when they walk by, kind of thing. And I'm sitting on the bed, and one of the other investigators is up by the door, and she says, well, she said, did you shut that door? If you shut that door, can you do that for us again? And you hear, no, very loudly, go through the room to the point that everyone turned around to me and said, was that you? And I'm like, no, it wasn't me. I didn't say anything. And you'll hear her go, I swear someone just said no. So we all heard that, and then fortunately we were able to catch that on our audio at the same time. That was awesome. I love those surprises.
You getting goosebumps on that one, Rich?
Yeah, that one there is a little scary. I mean, when you hear it out loud like that, right then and there, that's like that's ready to run out the door.
Well, let's see if it gives you goosebumps. Play the clip.
let's try it.
Yeah,
Just open it. Sure. What?
Just trying to get the door shut.
Oh, there's a stop in front of it.
Yeah, we want him to shut it.
Oh. It
Not
didn't shut
in
once
front of it
before.
anymore.
Or he left it open on purpose, and then when we had to turn on the flashlight, the door was shut.
I thought it said no. You swear no, that was the one? I heard no, very clearly.
I've had my share of being scared. I've had my share of personal experiences. We've had a lot of good investigations, but we've also had some stuff that didn't go quite as it was supposed to that we caught as our bloopers. And I know you don't want to let these people hear it, but come on, this is hilarious.
You guys aren't going to let me live this one down, are you?
Nope.
Okay.
We gotta show it. It's fun.
Okay.
Everybody's just, just a reminder, everybody needs to remember to have their flashlight with
It's a
them.
public service announcement.
Yeah. Everybody make sure you bring your flashlights, because if you don't, and you're in a basement, and you can't see your hand in front of your face, you aren't getting out. And the rest of your team can't hear you scream. Roll the clip. Hey! Guys! I need light!